Joining me for Let's Be Creative with LBC. My name is Tracy Sawyer and I am part of the Education and Community Engagement team. Today we are going to get our revenge on junk mail. We're going to use junk mail and items we have around the house to make something creative. All you will need is a stash of envelopes, maybe some magazines or a newspaper or advertisements, scissors, and some adhesive. As with the other episodes we've done, if you are a little artist, a little creator, I want you to make sure you use safety scissors or ask an adult to help you to make your cuts, because it is important to be creative, but it is more important to be safe. You will also need adhesive. For this project, I am using glue stick, but any kind of adhesive will work. Double-sided tape, crafter's glue, washi tape, painter's tape, almost anything will work. Glue stick is a good answer for today because it doesn't take a lot and it's easy to control. So what I think I'd like to do first is show you my inspiration for this project, some of the things that I have made in the past, and then we'll show you some of the things I made with junk mail. So the first one I want to show you is this little mini book. I love to make scrapbooks, I love to make cards, and I love to make little mini books. Sometimes I use them for gifts and sometimes I keep them, like this one. What I love about this one is that it has these little tags on each page where I can put pictures or thoughts or memories, different occasions. Each page is a little bit different, but it's all complementary. There's one page here that I especially love because it has a little secret door where I could put something else behind it. Honestly, I haven't added any pictures or memories to this little book because I enjoy looking at it the way it is. Another book I made, by the way, I should tell you that this one was made from a kit. This is a book kit that you can get that has the internal pages all set up for you. Another one I made is this one I made for Thanksgiving. It's made using chipboard, and one thing I want to show you is that it is bound with rings. You don't have to have a bookbinding machine to make little mini books. So this is chipboard, and like the other one, it has a cute little door, little secret door. I like having interactive parts in my projects so I can open up the little door and close it. And there you go, embellished with some ribbons. The last one I want to show you is one maybe closest to what we're going to do today because it's made using envelopes. This is a 5x7 envelope covered with pretty papers. This has sort of a baby theme. It would be good for a baby gift or an expectant mom. What I love about this project, because it's envelopes, is I have these lovely little pockets inside where I can tuck extra pictures or memories or statistics about the birth of a baby. And you'll also see another thing that I love is that on the interior pages I have tags that were made from cardstock, cut in the shape of a large tag, that I can also use to embellish, put pictures, whatever. So the first thing you want to do when you're making a junk mail journal is to make sure you have plenty of junk mail. The envelopes usually have a bunch of printing on the side, and you can use the front, you can use this side of the envelope for part of your pages, but I prefer to turn them inside out and use the blank side. So I have a blank canvas. So all you do is just gently tear along the binding on the side. You need to be firm but gentle and just tear that right off. I've done a lot of these and the envelopes open up pretty easily most of the time. Then you'll fold it inside out, make sure you get a good crease, and then take your glue stick, glue it along the inside. Well, what used to be the outside and is now the inside. Glue it along there. Press it down so it stays, and now you have the beginnings of a great book. And as far as the flap goes, you can tuck the flap inside. That is what I did on most of my projects, and also glue that down so it's not in your way. But you might find that you want to snip the top of the flap or do something creative with it, so that's all. You can decide that as you go. So then you would just fold it in half, and voila, you have the pages for your journal. This, I have found that it is best to use 3 envelopes. Too many more and it gets very bulky and harder to keep together, and too few and you don't have enough pages to play with. So this one, I used a hole punch, and this is a twist tie. You could also use ribbon or yarn or other things as you're binding. We'll get to more of that later. The other thing I want to point out to you is that inside these envelopes is often a great pattern. Do you see that through the window? And just take this, rip this along the sides like we did the last one. And, oops, I almost missed there. You do have to be careful. Rip it along the side. And look at that great pattern that's on the inside of this envelope. Other patterns that I found are this and this. Isn't that great? Check out that great pattern. And this and this. All on the inside of an envelope. All inside of junk mail. Who knew? All right, so let me show you a couple of projects that I made with this process. The first one I made was this little ABC book. I nestled my 3 envelopes together and sewed them. A nice little zigzaggy sewing, what am I trying to say? Sewed it with the zigzag pattern. I also sewed the bottom. And my original plan for this, I departed from it. That's fine. It's part of the creative process. Sometimes you have an idea in mind as you get going. You decide to do something else. That's great. That is exactly how the creative process works. So I decided to cut it here. I, because I'm a crafter, have a lot of tools, and I have a gigantic teacher size cutter. If you don't have one of those at home, just use a pair of scissors, cut it up the middle, and you'll be all set. So each page has its own letter, A, B, C, and D, and E and F, and so on. You, depending on your objectives for this project, you might want to stick with letters for each page, or you might want to cut out pictures. One thing about tearing apart envelopes is that you have natural pockets on the side, so I cut out an apple and put a paper tag on it with a staple that goes into the A section. It's right in the A pouch right here. Well, I can't get it in. I also cut out this one that's in the D section, and it's a little dog cut out from a magazine, stapled to a paper ribbon and tucked into the side. That makes this book really interactive and something that you can play with and add to over a period of time. On one of these, I cut out a pizza for the P page. So you can do letters, you could do pictures, you can do a combination depending on what you want out of the project. And then you'll have this to study from and play with for a long time and have some fun with it. Another project that I made is, I told you I like to scrapbook, so this is a little mini scrapbook that I made for our summer camps from last year. On this one, I love the pattern of the inside of, I love this pattern that I got on the inside of an envelope, and so I nested 2 envelopes together and then covered both with this, so it's my book jacket, and I sewed along this line to hold it together. So the first page is creative words and inspiring words. This is your ticket to create. We all have an imagination, and you can do a lot with your imagination if you just put some effort into it and have some stuff around to play with. These are the pictures from art camp. One thing I love about this is that it has natural pockets, so if I have pictures that I don't have places for on the page, I can tuck them right in here. By the way, these are pictures that I printed from my cell phone onto a piece of paper. Here's the page for dance. This is a little pocket right here that I put blue. I can stick anything in there, multiple pictures, names, whatever. And then this is the mariachi camp page, and again has a little pocket on the top where I can put additional photos or things that I want. So there is my little mini scrapbook page from summer camps last year. The last thing I made is a bullet journal. I don't know if you've heard about bullet journals. They are all the rage. You can Google them or check on them on Pinterest and you get lots of ideas. This front page is a giant picture window envelope. There was a bill inside. It was an envelope just like this, and it has this great big opening that had my address on it. And so I thought it would be fun to use this as kind of like a shaker card, where I glued down the side and I glued down here, and now I'm going to add something to the inside that, when it's sealed, will have a shaker card kind of a thing. So I poured some buttons that I had at home inside the pocket. Now I'm going to put adhesive along the sides, press it down so it stays closed. Oh, I missed a spot. Let me get right there. Close the lid so it doesn't dry out. Press this down, and now it's got sort of the shaker card thing. Will move inside. You could put leaves, you could put googly eyes, you might cut out letters for your name and put them under here, but the front page of your book is a little window. All right, and then on the inside, I have pages for whatever category I want. I love to doodle, so there's some doodles. This is the My Feelings page, and I've written some feelings that I've had about this period of time. I'm sure you have feelings too. Some people keep track of the amount of water they drink, how much sleep they get, how many days a week they exercise, but you can use a bullet journal for all of your own purposes. This is kind of my checklist while we are sheltering in place. These are things I want to try to remember to do every day. This is half of an envelope, cut and then glued to the top of the page, and I have some little notes I can use tucked right in there. I think you get the idea. So this is my budget journal with the little shaker card top. I hope that you have enjoyed doing this. Let me also just say there are different kinds of binding you can use. You've seen sewing. You've seen hole punches with ribbon or yarn. You could use a shoelace if you don't need the shoelace anymore. You can use a stapler, blue glue, painter's tape, all kinds of things that you can use to bind your book, and then the sky's the limit as to what you can put inside. And so I would love to see what you make. If you would be so kind as to take a picture of your project and post it to this page, that would make me very happy, and I could celebrate all of your hard work along with you. Enjoy the creative process and be sure to have some fun with playing with junk mail. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you will also be sure to tune in tomorrow at 1 p.m. for another episode of Let's Be Creative with LBC.